This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 300, The Problem with the Traditional 8-Hour Workday by Harry Campbell with MakingSenseOfSense.com. And hi again, welcome to Optimal Startup Daily. This is the podcast where I read to you from some of the best blogs on entrepreneurship and startups, and I do that every single day, including weekends and holidays for you. And now let me ask you a question. Is your Wi-Fi slowing down at the office or when you're working from home? Then it's time for you to upgrade your Wi-Fi. With Netgear Wi-Fi 6 business solutions, you get the very best Wi-Fi performance, security, and coverage to keep you connected whether you're at the office, working from home, or on the go. They deliver unmatched speeds, coverage, enterprise-level security, and 4 times the network capacity. Plus, seamless mobile management helps you keep your guests and employees connected and your data protected, providing visibility anywhere, anytime. Visit netgear.com/business and use code OPTIMAL10 at checkout to save 10%. And with that, let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. The Problem with the Traditional 8-Hour Workday by Harry Campbell with MakingSenseOfSense.com. Traditionally in the United States, our workdays have been 8 hours long, and we trudge into the office 5 days per week, and 2 weeks of vacation time is pretty standard. This pattern dates back to the Industrial Revolution. Yeah, that cultural and societal revolution that happened over 200 years ago. We're usually a little bit slow to catch up to the rest of the world, I guess. You'd think by now we would have realized our way of doing work is a little outdated. You'd also think we might have come up with something that works a little better, but so far we haven't. As you've probably noticed, the model we're stuck in now doesn't make much sense. It seems like we're only continuing to carry on with it because it's one of those things we've always done. But as companies strive to be more innovative and coax more productivity out of workers, we're starting to question how great the set 8-hour workday really is. We're realizing that this system comes with a lot of problems and challenges for modern employees and employers. Today's millennials are demanding more of a work-life balance than ever, and it's up to employers to adapt. Many positions don't actually require 8 hours worth of work every day. One of the most obvious problems, both for employees and employers, is that the 8-hour workday causes a whole lot of wasted time. Many positions within companies don't actually require an employee's dedicated attention for 8 full hours Monday through Friday for a total of 40 hours per week. When was the last time you worked a full 8 hours? And no, watching cat videos on Facebook does not count as work. Employees are left bored, and many are resentful of all the time they have to pass twiddling their thumbs at their desks. Employers are, perhaps not always knowingly, paying for many empty hours where nothing is getting done because there isn't anything to do. The way our current system is set up, we exchange time for money. We show up 8 hours, and our employers pay us for those 8 hours. The better way? Exchanging value for money. Not everyone takes 40 hours per week to do amazing work within their job, so why force talented people to adhere to a schedule that might not make sense? The 8-hour workday doesn't allow for maximum creativity and productivity. As much as some companies may wish it were true, humans aren't machines. We don't have on switches that can be flipped at 9 a.m. and then turn it all off at 5. While having a consistent schedule does help with efficiency and productivity, the normal 8-hour schedule most of us work now doesn't take advantage of human beings' natural rhythms and flows. Personally, I know that I do my best work in the mornings from about 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and at night from 8 p.m. to midnight. People are more often creative and work best in blocks of time throughout the entire day with periods of rest and downtime in between. The set 8-hour workday doesn't allow for this. The brain isn't designed to do hard work and constantly focus for that set amount of time without multiple breaks. Additionally, some people are naturally better workers in the early morning hours, while others do their best work in the afternoons, and still others are true night owls. People just don't like the restriction. If you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep per night and you're forced to work another 8 hours, that only leaves a third 8 hours for all the rest of your life. Often, 2 of those hours are eaten up by a stressful commute to and from work, which you're forced into, which realistically leaves only 6 hours for family, relaxation, exercise, hobbies, and chores or errands. Unsurprisingly, this way of living can be extremely unsatisfying. Companies that refuse to deviate from the traditional 8-hour workday may soon find that they lose their best workers and talent to either A, companies that are embracing more forward-thinking models and allow for remote work, flexible hours, or other alternatives to the old-school 9-to-5, or B, entrepreneurship. Employees with a heavy skill set and a drive to succeed are realizing that there's a better way than an enforced 8-hour workday. With the rise of side hustles and side businesses, More and more people are making the transition from working for someone else to working for themselves. We've seen a lot of stories in recent years of the greed in corporate America. Board members flying private jets while their employees are getting laid off, and large bonuses being awarded only to upper management. Why would you toil away working your tail off when someone else gets to reap all the benefits? The traditional 8-hour workday is, simply put, old and not useful to us anymore. It's an inefficient way to work because it creates many hours of empty, wasted time. But times are changing. Employers are very slowly realizing that a new way of doing business is taking over, and employees are realizing that if they no longer find the 8-hour workday in someone else's business acceptable, they can run their own business, set their own schedule, and be in charge of their own freedom. You just listened to the post titled "The Problem with the Traditional 8-Hour Workday" by Harry Campbell with MakingSenseOfSense.com. You might have heard Dr. Neil over at Optimal Health Daily always recommends Indeed first when his students are looking for jobs. He recommends it for candidates, but we also highly recommend it for hiring. It's the first place you should go because the moment you post a sponsored job, you get quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. And that's in part thanks to the fact that if you invite candidates through Indeed Instant Match, they are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than those who only see it in search. Plus, with Indeed, you can do all of your hiring in one place, even interviewing. They make it super simple. Just attract, interview, and hire. According to Talent Nest, Indeed delivers 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/startup. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/startup. That's Indeed.com/startup. Offer valid through September 30th. Terms and conditions apply. And thank you to Harry. He's a guest writer on Michelle Schroeder-Gardner's site, which is MakingSenseOfSense.com. Now, Harry started blogging about personal finance on his main site, yourpfpro.com, and he enjoyed it so much that he started a second site dedicated to finding the perfect work-life balance at the4hourworkday.com. Both sites are now nearly a decade old each, so he's got a ton of content there for you to check out. Again, that's yourpfpro.com and the4hourworkday.com. And when Harry is not blogging, he works full-time as an aerospace engineer and enjoys surfing and playing beach volleyball. And of course, thank you as well to Michelle of Making Sense of Sense for continuing to let us share her work. We've been reading articles from her site for around 5 years now, and we've still got more articles to share, so obviously she's got a ton of great content too. Michelle is most regularly featured over on Optimal Finance Daily since she writes most often about personal finance. So for a lot more blogs from that site being narrated to you for free, search for Optimal Finance Daily wherever you're hearing this. But that's going to do it for today and for the milestone episode, if you noticed, number 300 for Optimal Startup Daily. It is, of course, all thanks to you, the listener, as well as our contributing authors that we've been able to make it this far. So again, thanks so much for being a loyal listener. It really means a lot to us, and have a great rest of your day. I'll see you back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.